Hello, everyone. It's Linda from Linda Z's in Arlington Heights, Illinois, ready for a little fun free prizes and a little design work and some really fun things that we're going to do today. So welcome. We are thrilled to have you. We had hundreds of people sign up for these free gifts. So I thought rather than have you wait, last week we had a video that we did and we asked you to sign up, wasn't it, Nick, on our website? That's how they got it. And he says, yes, we, right? And what they did, or what you did, and many of you, is put your name in. And now we have them on a wheel. Can they see the wheel, Nick? Okay, there's a little wheel there. And it's got 5 winners, yeah. You want to start? Okay, so he's going to start. Hope you're lucky. Come on, guys. Really cross your fingers. Okay, and the first winner is, let's see. Oh, Judith Miller. Great. Congratulations. Judith, you have won one of these great prizes. Actually, I believe we're going to take the first one, which is the $100. It's actually a heart, very similar to what I have on, but lots of other designs besides. So you're the very lucky winner for that. Want to do a second one now? Okay, who feels lucky? This is really fun, you guys. It's just something fun to get you excited about sewing, and there's really great prizes. You know what it is? Anna Sutton. These wonderful embroidery threads from Robeson Anton. There's 6 of them. They are Christmas colors, holiday colors, blues, grays, whites, greens, really fun prizes. It's about $65. So that's Anna Sutton. Now we have a really fun one that's got this little double dozens by Kay England, and everybody needs a tape measure at some point. And I love this little bunny one. I keep one of these. Oh, Dawn Pavlik. Great, you're a wonderful winner too. We have the next is the Tula Pink. These are the Tula Pink threads. There's 50 weight threads in here. They're absolutely phenomenal, and they're very difficult to find. I don't know if you can see the little colors here, but Patricia Feet, wonderful. Welcome. We're thrilled for you. The last but not least is really, I'm going to use this little tape measure today to show you. It's got a little sewing kit. It's really cool. This would be great for travel because it's really got the things you really need. Marjorie Leslie and some really fun scissor Kleenexes and the tape measure. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to give away more prizes at the end of the video, and I hope that you'll be here because we'll show you how to get these. We want to change it up a little bit so you have fun. Have you guys heard about variegated threads? Do you know what I'm talking about? There's a whole group that I have right here. I'll pull 2 of them. I love this blue one. This is actually Isocord, and it's all kinds of shades of blue, and it runs, I think on this one maybe about 2 inches with a darker blue, a lighter blue, even some white or pink. This one is a metrazine. It's got beautiful shades of red, white, and blue. And then this one over here is the, this is Isocord too, and I believe I have one on the screen that is a Floriani. Yep, I have one on the machine. So there are some really wonderful variegated threads, and they change color as they sew. And if you can get up close on my shirt, Nick, I don't know if you can do that on this side. Okay. It has a, there's a heart on there, and this little heart, I didn't want real heavy embroidery. It's a design already. It's a silk shirt, and I just wanted it's very nice and light for summer. And I wanted a heart that could do a, you know, it's a variegated it's almost a red work design. And so I wanted to use the variegated thread. So if you can see it up close, maybe, did you get it? Oh, you got it. Okay, good. I can't see it from where I am, but I just wanted you to see that it changes colors, and it's on the machine here, from reds to browns to dark black, and just really fun things, but subtle. And that's what I really wanted, because this was quite a busy print. It's almost a leopardy print. I didn't want to have just a beigey color, although you could, because that would blend in even more. I wanted it to pop a little. If you wear a little tee with it, then you've got some color going. So I started out, some of you may be new embroiderers, or maybe you want to do embroidery in a quilt square. And so what I did is I cut out and I used these, I took a piece of batik and I used these cutters. I love these Alex Anderson cutters. Many of you have seen, this is mine. I put my initials on it because they have a tendency to kind of, you know, somehow disappear around here. Not that they would take them. But you see when I hold this button in and just tap it, that immediately, or I start to sew, start to cut, then it immediately starts cutting for you. You don't have to press a blade or anything else. It is so easy to use, and it is ergonomically correct so that when you are holding it, if you've got any kind of a carpal tunnel or anything, that helps it, and it prevents carpal tunnel. So I think they're wonderful. And the surprise that surprised me today when I was getting ready for the studio, I don't know where I've been, but I did not know there was a 60 millimeter. This is the big one. I've been wanting this for a long time. Teresa, is it on our website yet? It will be, right? This one's gone already, but I use big ones like this for when I'm doing bigger cuts, or if I'm doing, I love it for the cuddle and, you know, thicker battings, that kind of thing. I do this a lot. So I cut my little piece of fabric because I wanted to try out the design first on a piece of fabric that was somewhat similar to the shirt. I didn't want to do it on the shirt yet because it is a silk and cotton shirt. It's a very expensive shirt, and I didn't want it to be, I didn't want to just sew on it unless I saw how the design went on it and how it actually stitched on the fabric. I wouldn't have had to stitch out this design. Now see what I did? I took a piece of fabric that had kind of a little bit of a design, and I put the design that I'm going to show you on the, I did the whole thing on it with this stabilizer that I'm also going to show you. If I didn't actually stitch that out, I could have taken this, which is called Template Tearaway. I don't know if you can get that up close. And the Template Tearaway, for those of you that do not have cameras, I was doing this design on this honey of a machine. I love this little machine. It's called the Brother 3600. It's Yonovis. I just call it the 3600. It's just a beautiful machine. And in a little bit, we're going to show you exactly how I did it, because it does have, I did it on a hoop that was this size. It has a bigger hoop. I didn't do it on that side. I did it on the 5x7 hoop, but I could have done it on the 4x4 hoop, which is really wonderful. If you don't have one of these, they should be in everybody's stash. The machine comes with the two big hoops, the big one like this, 6x10, and the 5x7. And then this is the 4x4 that I always pick up extra. And I added another hoop that I think you'll like too. It's I believe like a 1.5 by 2.5. I was going to show you, but we're trying to make this a little shorter video, and I was going to do it on the cuff here. But I would take this rolls down, and then there's a cuff here, and I would take the little design of the 3 initials, and I would use that 1.5 by 2 inch hoop. Perfect hoop for tiny little initials. Now, if I don't have a camera, in order to see, you see how this is placed really, I'm on this side, okay, how it's placed really well. It's not up too high underneath the collar. It's not over in the sleeve. And I don't have a camera in order to do that. I do have a template that I can put inside of the hoop, but I didn't even use that because I wanted to move it around a little. So I could have taken this template Tearaway, and I have a design that I just showed, that I printed out on one, and it shows the hoop, and it actually, can you get that up closer? It's kind of, okay, because it's not that design, it's just a simple design that I put on there. And then I can take and I can peel this off, and that's sticky on there afterwards. If I peel off the back, and I want to use this one again, so I don't want to peel it off. Oh, well, I guess I could. And you're going to peel it off, and what you're going to do, I'll show you. This is kind of cool. See how easy, you may not be able to see it from there, but it's very transparent. See, this is the front. There you go. This is the back, and it's real sticky. So I can tear this off, and then I can take this design, and I can put it on my fabric, my shirt or whatever I want and see where I want to place it. And then I can take it off again and replace it on another position. It's really nice when you don't have a camera or when you really want to move your, see, I can just put it right back on there again. When you want to move your design around, you don't want to keep it right in the center of the hoop. On these hoops, where these little marks are here and here, this is in the center, from here to here. And if I had the template here, the little hole would be right in the center of the template. I didn't want it there. I wanted it to go up further and going over and whatnot. So it's really fun to have this template Tearaway along when you're doing this. Now, this is actually a woven fabric. There's no stretch. When you have a woven fabric and you want to do a design, like say you're going to do a quilt block and you want to put a whole group of parts together in each quilt block, you would want to take your fabric, this is actually a batik, and you would want to press on the back something called Heat and Stay Fusible. It's an R&K product, a Floriani product. I love it. I think it's great. So I'm going to show you, if you can see, this is the shiny side. I'll kind of get it in the light a little bit so you can see it. And this is the non-fusible side. See how it's got a little shine to it? And that shine is going to go down on your fabric. Wow, that's bright. But the batik, there's no right or wrong side, so it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this over to my Laura Star. If you don't have a Laura Star, you certainly do need a press cloth. But because this has got nice high heat, now I have been talking and turned my iron off, but it's still very, very hot. And do you see what I'm doing here? I'm starting in the center and I'm pressing out. I'm starting in the center and I'm pressing out. I'm not ironing it, I am pressing it. And I'm going to a little bit more extreme than I normally would, but that's what we call pressing. And you see how the corners are really held down very nicely. Now there is no possible way that is going to, I got Nick going back and forth there. There is no possible way that this is going to stretch out. It's going to be perfectly ready for you. So I have it stretched, I have it in the hoop. What am I going to use in the machine when I start? This machine is, and so many of them are, these are pre-wound bobbins that are made just for the little drop-in bobbins, and it's for embroidery. And I want to make that real clear. It is definitely for embroidery. I have seen people that haven't been trained and have come from other places, and they'll come in with their machines and they're construction people or they're quilters, and they have this in their bobbin and they're using quilting thread on top and they're piecing with that, or they're doing their garment construction with these. No, put a big red X there. This is only for when you're doing embroidery in the hoop, or if you were going to do your quilt label, then you would want to use this. Do not use it for regular sewing. So I'm going to take, and why do I use a pre-wound bobbin? A lot of people ask me that. Because it's so much fuller. It's just packed. It's professionally wound. Sure, I can wind my own. It takes a lot longer. I don't get as much on there. This is going to sew forever because it's already pre-wound. And it just, I know it's in really, really, the thread is really going to work well. This is actually almost an 80 weight. The higher the number, the finer the thread. When I wind my own, I sometimes will use a 60 weight. It depends upon what brand and what design I'm doing. And I could go into, and I know Nick has asked me to do this. At some point, I will do a very in-depth threading for you because there's such a difference as to what bobbin you use as to how the garment will come out. You can see this garment is silk and there's a little cotton in there and there's absolutely no puckering whatsoever on the design. I just did this right before the studio and it really turned out nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, oops, I didn't get quite enough on here and I really want to make sure it is really strong. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it down. And a little trick that I could tell you that really works when you start this, I take my fabric, especially if it's just if I'm doing a quilt square, I take my fabric and I press it. I actually press it and get all the wrinkles out of it, but I keep it a little warm. And then the fabric is warm when I put the stabilizer on top. And that way it just seems to adhere to the fabric better. The other thing that I suggest, and boy, guys, you know how well it's because of me that you're getting these. It's such a much better value for you to be able to buy these packages. And these stabilizers that I'm talking about today are in this package. For those of you that don't have the real big hoops, although it's much more economical in this 6x10 to use the big hoop, but there is a smaller package that we do carry too. But this is where you save money. This is heavily discounted, and it's just a great way for you to buy your stabilizers, because the stabilizers I'm talking about, you will use over and over and over. I'm not having you buy something that you stick away in a closet and it's got shelf life and you never use it again. These are perishables that you will use. It's almost like your bread and butter. Now, you can see what I'm doing on the hoop. I'm going to push, and see how I push it in with my hand, use my palm of my hand. You can see I've done that many times. And if I don't have it if I have it too tight, I'm going to loosen this a little. And this is the, what do you guys call this? The mag. What do you call this, Teresa? This gray bobbin.
Sam driver.
She calls it the Sam driver. I guess so. Yeah, it's a multi-purpose. Why is it called a Sam driver? Okay, I know everybody around here calls it a Sam driver. Mine, there's a little hole in it, and I have a string around my neck because I've lost so many of these. I carry these at every one of my machine and all by my hoops because, I try to push this out a little bit. See, it's got little holders here, so it can only go so far. But here's the beauty of this, and boy, Nick, if you can get this up close. This little Sam driver, this little multi-purpose screwdriver has got, you can see there's an opening in the screw of the hoop, and I can just stick that screwdriver in there, and look at how I'm turning this. If I try to turn this by hand, there's no possible way I can do it, and I don't care how strong you are, you're not going to be able to do it. But look, I'm still giving that about 2 turns. I'm not going to make it too tight. I don't want it to be where it almost is crushing the hoop, but it's really giving it a nice firm design. So now, you know what else I'm going to do? What else do I do for this design over here that I needed? Right? The water-soluble topper. And, I just take a little piece and I cut it to the size of the design that I'm going to use. And then I might take a little sponge and just in the corners, sponge it down. I do not want to open up a big new thing. I don't think I brought my my water soluble with me, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Okay, that's a little phrase I coined. This one that is on my garment here definitely had the water soluble, and if I can take 2 steps over here, I'm going to see if I can. Okay, I had to go to my little basket. Of course, there was no water-soluble topper in it, so I had to open up this nice, big, wonderful kit. Again, I told you I buy mine from it, and I used about maybe 9 inches from it. So this is already discounted. It's normally $200 and I don't know with their tax, $60-some. It's on special. One only, because I use this one. The first person to call the store when you see this video, and you can tell them you saw the video and you want the special on the kit, you're going to get it for $175. They're going to say, what? Why did you do that? But I can't sell it because it's already been opened up. So it's something that you guys will have a good bargain on. And so I took a piece off. You can see I put it on the hoop here. And I did put a little water in each corner so that it would, have a topper. When you have a woven fabric, I cannot stress this enough. Woven, knit, no matter what it is, you always want to use a topper. The only time, almost always, that I don't use a topper is when I am doing lace. But every other time I try to use the toppers. So Nick, if I can get you, I'm almost done and I want to show them how I'm going to do this, but I want to show it to them up close. Can we get the camera right on the machine? And I will, great. And what I'll do is I'll show them. I'm going to go ahead and touch these designs. You can see I want the little ones, and then there's little arrows here I can just keep going. These are all the designs that are in this machine. And of course there is a USB stick, so I could put more than what is right here. And look what I found, my little heart. And actually I'm just going to put it, remember I told you where the center was? I'm just going to go ahead and sew it with this thread that I have on here. It's a variegated with reds and dark colors. I could have used one of the other colors too, but I just want you to see it on a different fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and set it, and then I could move this if I wanted to. I'm going to do end edit, and here's a little thing on the machine that I think is just wonderful. See this little arrow? It's on even the $20,000 machines. I'm going to touch that because I can now move it. If I didn't want to do this heart right in the center and I wanted to move it up here or up to the bottom of the hoop, I could do that. But I want to see where it's going right now. And watch what happens. It's showing me exactly where this design is being sewn. Exactly. Now say I don't like that and I want to bring it down a little bit. I'm going to say okay. And now these little arrows, I'm just going to bring it down. I want it to be down a little bit further than that. And that looks good. I mean, I could recheck it again, but I think that's great. And then I'm going to say embroidery. It tells you this is a 9-minute design. It's 4,588 stitches. There's only one thread. It shows you what foot. It shows you to, it does have the threader, the scissor cutter. It'll cut in between designs. And if I want to back up a design, I can do that too. Now, I haven't started yet because my foot is not down. Do you see that was red before? Let me put it back up. You see how it's red? Now watch when I put the foot down, it's green. That means we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and start it. And what it's going to do is make this little heart for you. And it's really a sweet little design. So now that design is going to go on top of this fabric. You can see that's the water soluble. And then I'm going to show you when the design is done, what it looks like and what I do to take that water soluble off. So while this machine is sewing, I want to show you, I've got another one, like I said, that I already did. And I want to show you what I do once the design is finished. I tore off as much as I could of this water-soluble topper already. Then I'm going to put this on top of a towel, and I'm going to take my little spray. And if you don't have one of these, boy, you need it. You've seen it, I'm sure, in some of my other videos. Can you get that up close, Nick, so they can see? Well, they can see it. It's definitely a water. See how I put that in there? And then I take another towel. These are just old towels that I have. And I really want to press it and pound it down a little bit, because what it does is it takes all that goop off of there. I'm going to spray it one more time and see what a nice fine mist that is. And then I'm going to go again and just press this, and I could go with the towel over here, and it's real nice too. And then what I do is I take this, after I'm sure that all of the water soluble is off of there. And then I'm going to take this over to the Laura Star. And what I'm going to do with the Laura Star is I'm going to put this design with the right side down on the felt. Now, do you know why I would do that? Because you're going to get a better press that way. I know the goop and everything is already gone. So now I'm going to take it over to the machine, over to the iron, and I'm going to press it real nice and firm. And that's how you're going to get your design really well on there. I will tell you that sometimes what I do is I will take and press this lightly so there's a little bit of heat on there. And then I take this off, and if I press it a little further, it'll come. And look what's happening. You see how I'm pulling that off? And I'm pulling it right up to the heart. I'm going to pull it off again. I like to get most of that off of there, and it will come off if you get it warm first, and then that whole thing will come up right to the heart. And I like to put my thumb up here, my finger, so I can do it. So look, that's all come off, except for this little piece in here, and that'll come off in the wash. Then I can turn it over again. It's already been pressed. I'll press it again on this side. And voila, you've got a beautiful, beautiful, look at no puckers whatsoever. I mean, a really, really nice, nice design. You can see that this heart design that's sewing here is almost done. And while I'm finishing up, I want to tell you about next week's prizes, because I think you'll want, again, some free prizes. I just love doing this because it's, I have to tell you a quick little story, and I know I'm going over again, but Marge Fiedler, hello from Arizona, up by Prescott area. Marge just discovered our videos, and I had a conversation with her this week, and I just love hearing what she said. And we sold her a machine many years ago. Well, it wasn't that long, Marge. Long time ago you bought your first one, but you bought 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 machines from us. And she said during this COVID, because she bought this little house up in kind of the mountains of Arizona, that if she hadn't had this and these videos, she said, I don't know what I would do. It keeps me going. So that is the heart that's on here, and that's dedicated to you, Marge. So I hope everybody enjoyed what we're doing, and this fun part is the giveaway. Next week, we won't take all the time to do Nick, can you run that ahead of time? Yeah, he can run it ahead of time to get right when we start to get the names so that we don't have to waste your time while the wheel is spinning. But I'll tell you some of the things that you're going to get for next week. This is one. I love this. This is a great bag. And look at the bottom of the tote bag is in here. The patterns and everything are in here. And I believe, oh, this is a quilt as you go, sew by numbers. This is a wonderful one. And here is another one. I love the black on this. So we have 3 of these that we're going to give away. And these are, I think, $65 or so. So they're a great little buy and free. And then I have 1 Tula left. And then I'm sure I'm going to find a couple other little things for them too. So get your names in. I want to see them on there. And you can see the heart's almost done. And I'll have maybe a little quilt tabletop done with that for our next design next week. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. I really want you to know that we appreciate from the, let's see, where's the heart? The bottom of, the top of my heart, for everything that you do. So come join us again. Thank you.